Hey everyone, welcome to another devlog for Vampires vs Aliens, placeholder name. Today we're going to talk about what's gone on over the last week, particularly our development with triggered skills, which is skills that are triggered by things other than just pressing a button. So, if you've been watching the latest devlogs, you'll know that in the passive tree there's going to be empty slots on active skills, right? Active skills being shoot, attack with a slam, right? All kinds of skills we'll have in the game, hopefully. These skills have their own passive tree. These slots will let you put in support skills. These are things that will enhance the skill. Last devlog we talked about multiple projectiles, which if I take will now make it so I fire 3 projectiles. Cool. The new node type we've added is a trigger. So these trigger nodes, these trigger skills, will cause the skill to be fired by something other than clicking the button that uses them. In fact, it will prevent you from clicking the button to fire it. You'll notice all these crossed. These skills work functionally. We just haven't got an icon in for them yet, so that is why they're just showing the X. But the skill tree is there. It's all functional. I haven't put in the notables yet. That's something I'm going to do later. But everything else is here, including we have lifesteal, which is a new passive type we didn't have, increased life gain, which is a new passive type we didn't have, damage reduction penalty, so you'll notice that this skill reduces how much damage it deals. This reduces that reduction. Hopefully that makes some sort of sense. I'm sure there's probably better wording we'll come across as we test this, but basically when you take this, your skill can no longer be fired manually. There's a 60% damage penalty, but if you take these nodes, that penalty will go away to 0 if you take all of them. We also have some max HP nodes, which if you see when I take them, I now have 114 health. You'll also notice I can no longer left click to fire, but if I walk into an enemy, my skill fires automatically. Awesome. We're going to have a whole host of triggers, or at least that's the current goal, including potentially just a straight up auto fire. So if there are people who want to build a character that has no engine, they'll probably, instead of building your own engine where you cause self damage or something like that, there may be a skill that just lets you auto fire, but it's likely to have more extreme penalties that you'll need to mitigate through other ways. So hopefully we can make all of that interesting. But yeah, really happy with this. The code I'll go through in a bit. I know most people probably don't care about that, but I care about that and I find it interesting, so we'll go into it. I fixed a few bugs with the passive tree. Previously I was having trouble deselecting and reselecting things. You could remove skills from slots even when there were dependencies. That's all fixed. So yeah, in general the passive tree is working a lot better. There is still one issue I just ran into while I was trying to record. I've made a note to fix it. It looks pretty down the well complicated, so that's something for me to look at. Hopefully next time we talk, we'll be talking about mana, what our plans for that are, see if we can get that implemented. Triggered skills will not use it, at least that's the current design intent. And that will be the main advantage of taking these triggers, is that you don't have to worry about mana or mana regen or mana gain or whatever it is. So that's the current plan going forward. Hopefully that'll be a nice big update. In terms of other little things about the code, there's no new enemy types. Yep, we're working on some art assets for some potentially multiple different characters and a level up screen, so that will be coming within the next couple of weeks. I'll obviously be updating that when we have it. But yeah, I'm getting a few people to help, and it's coming along cool. So yeah. Now into the code bit. If you're not interested, thanks for watching. If you are interested, let's talk a little bit about triggers. So when you take a skill and you equip it, there is going to be a function called apply skill. And this apply skill here does different things based on the support skill that you're equipping. If it is a trigger type, it's going to do a few things. First, it's going to set a damage reduction modifier. This is that penalty that I was talking about. And then it's going to do a few other things. On the player, it's going to say, hey, on damage trigger is a boolean, and we've set it to true. I'm going to be doing these as booleans instead of a dictionary. I think it's going to be more efficient to do that rather than do a match. I don't know, it's much of a muchness. Generally, I prefer using dictionaries, but this is one case where I think a set of booleans is going to make more sense. And more importantly, it does a few other things. First, it tells the damage to recalculate itself, and we have a damage reduction modifier. And the other thing it does is it tells the skill, hey, your trigger type has changed. More importantly, it actually passes in the trigger type. In theory, a lot of this code is probably just going to work for any kind of trigger. I don't think any of this will need to change. So this matching on skill name on simple name is probably going to change to matching on support type or something like that. We'll figure all of that out. Now, when we have that trigger type, we have this in the parent class, attempt attack. It has a target and an attack type. When this attempt, I've changed all of the times you call attack to try to attempt attack. So when I hit left click, instead of just attacking, it's going to say, I am attempting to attack this target with this attack type. If I left click, that will be a direct. So, where's it on player? Trigger attack. Where is it? Here we go. So when I am attacking, it will try and get the mouse position, and then it will send the type direct being mouse input, right? But it'll hit that function that I just showed you, and that function will say, hey, that attack type is not matching my trigger type, therefore I will not fire. Otherwise, I will fire, and then all the normal code fires. So that's how that works. There's a bit of stuff there about firing at random targets. I don't think that matters too much. I did have a little interesting bug where the target would be set to... the target's global position would match the player's global position, and therefore it wouldn't fire a projectile with any movement. The projectile would just sit there. That's not intended. I have a temporary hack fix at the moment for that. Where if I go get, is it random? In this get random target, this is really dumb, but essentially, if I get a global position that matches the player's global position, I just call the function again and try and get a different target. This is a really bad solution because it could infinite loop, and also that's not what it should be doing, but I'm pretty sure that this is just a problem with bad collision boxes, so I'm hoping that this will fix itself down the track when I improve the collision. That's about it for this devlog. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions or any suggestions, I'm always open to ears. And thanks for watching.